Good afternoon. My name is Kathleen Lynam. I am a nurse, a retired chief nursing officer, and for the past 10 years, I've served as an executive coach with Healthcare Experience Foundation. And on behalf of our team, I want to welcome you and thank you for all that you've done in the past few months battling this pandemic that has certainly changed all of our lives. Today, we want to talk to you, actually offer you some support, maybe even some insight and some perspective to help you assist move forward. The title, Finding Individual Strength in Our Collective Experience, is, I think, perfect for this event here. And we have two simple objectives that we're going to do in two sessions. So this first session, we're going to cover validating the emotions you'll likely experience. In the next session, come back and join us and find out some strategies to address the emotions you may not be as familiar with. So you are not alone, but it sure may feel that way. Whether it's across town, competitive hospitals are feeling the same. Across the state-to-state border, I'm a Jersey girl, but never have Jersey and New York worked so hard to be together. Across the country, we're learning and sharing with each other, from PPE to emotional support to research for treatment. In fact, across the world, your peers are feeling similarly to each and every one of us fighting this pandemic. The world has changed, hasn't it? From January to April, who would have thought a busy ED or a busy inpatient clinic would take on such drastic changes? Now, I'm recording this in the first week of April. When I created this presentation a day ago, the opening for New Jersey and New York was predicted to be May. 2 days later, we're talking about June or July. We may be opened up, and I'm sure it's different where each and every one of you are. And you have been right smack in the middle of it. Whether by choice, by calling, or demand, you are part of an elite group of individuals. I want you to take a moment and think about this. Do you feel you were called into your role in healthcare? Many of us who do work in healthcare believe that, and many more believe that we're actually doing God's work, ministering to those during times of their life when they are most vulnerable. And yet that service, that serving, that personal mission, it certainly costs a lot, hasn't it? As we work around the country supporting all of you providing care in a similar theme has emerged. And it's that vulnerable state of feeling out of control. In our homes, in our workplace, everything has changed. And frankly, change is hard to accept and adopt when we know what to expect. But not knowing what to expect, do we have enough equipment? Is my spouse's cough just allergies, or is it COVID-19? That unknown rocks our state of security, and it breeds anxiety. And wouldn't we all just like a little bit of magic to say, poof, make this go away? But the magic has to be put aside for some hard work. And first and foremost, you're a nurse, a social worker, a physical therapist, an occupational therapist, a transporter, lab tech, whomever you are, you must pause and take a moment and think about what you've been through and think about what's been the hardest. We've named a few here, but take a moment and reflect on what's been the hardest for you to watch. Has it been the separation from your family? Has it been about misinformation or lack of information? Is it fear of infection? What about patients being alone, or sadly, patients alone and dying? How about peers dying? I just want you to know today and every day at 2 o'clock, my nursing friends from New Jersey here, we all have put alarms on our clock to pray for our friends, our peers who are on ventilators as we speak, fighting this COVID-19. Never before have we been in this situation. Are we worried about, has been hardest not having the proper equipment? Or maybe for you, the hardest has been home schooling. All we need to know is that we must take time to reflect on what's been painful and moving forward in order that we can move forward. And part of moving forward is naming those feelings. And we've got to think about those feelings, whether in your life, in your family, or in your work. Naming them is really important. Is it the same feeling when you come home from work, or going into work, or watching the news? Are you experiencing anger? Are you numb? How about frustrated over where we are? Sad? How about depressed or anxious? Tired, worried, any or all of these can be part of the realm of emotions you're experiencing. The important thing is that you name them, because we have to acknowledge them, and therefore our mind and our healing can help us release them so we can move past them. Love Brene Brown's quote, who says that if you don't name those feelings, they're going to eat you alive. So it's important, my friends, to take a moment and think about those feelings. I like this, and I know it's kind of simple, but I think it's important for us to remember whenever you're feeling you're not alone. I'm just going to read for you one little paragraph from Winnie the Pooh that I think captured where we are right now. "This was a difficult day," said Pooh. There was a pause. "Do you want to talk about it?" asked Piglet. "No," said Pooh after a bit, "I don't think I do." "That's okay," said Piglet, and he came and sat beside his friend. "What are you doing?" asked Pooh. "Nothing really," said Piglet. "I only know what difficult days are like. I quite often don't feel like talking about it on my difficult days either." "But goodness," continued Piglet, "difficult days are so much easier when you know you've got someone there for you. And I'll always be there for you, Pooh." And so think about who's there for you right now. Who is it that you cry and talk and laugh and cheer with? It's important to recognize them. And so moving forward, how do we survive right now? At work, with our team, with our patients, with our family, with our community? Well, here's an important concept to leave you with, and I think it's inspiring for all of us. And it's a soft reminder as we enter the new week. We are all going through a collective traumatic experience. Yes, trauma is often thought of as too much too fast, which is exactly what's happening. Of course you're exhausted. Of course you're afraid. Of course you're overwhelmed. You're clinging to a certainty in the midst of so much unknown. Of course you aren't as productive, feeling foggy, or perhaps wondering how you can go through so many waves of emotions in the same day. This all makes sense in the context of our circumstances. My friends, be gentle with yourself. Have compassion for your process. Give yourself grace. You are good no matter how you are managing this completely new experience. And so I ask and I'll leave you with this note to remember that it's difficult for all of us, and heed this advice. Be kind to yourself, be gentle, and tune in for our next session where we give you some additional concrete ideas on how to move forward. Thank you and have a blessed day.